APC youths today are clamoring for inclusion, and they have started strategizing ahead of 2023 presidential election as the party leaders discuss internal affairs at the youth conference. And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced that it will open the portal for e-registration next week as it commences the continuous voter registration. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloya, Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. Let's begin the conversation by telling you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is opening an online portal for eligible voters who are currently not on the country's voter register to get registered ahead of the general election in 2023. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said that these had a consultative meeting with media practitioners in Abuja, noting that the portal will help address the challenge of overcrowding at the continuous voter registration centers. According to Professor Yakubu, the Commission will continue the exercise on a quarterly basis for 1 year, beginning from Monday, June the 28th of this year. Let's take a listen to him.
The expansion of voters' access to polling units prepares the ground for the discharge of another important responsibility of the Commission. The registration of eligible Nigerians as voters is one of the immediate tasks before the Commission. Consequently, in the next 1 week, that is from Monday, the 28th of June 2021, the Commission will resume the continuous voter registration nationwide. In doing so, the Commission is introducing a portal to enable eligible Nigerians to commence registration as voters online before completing the exercise physically at designated centers nationwide. We intend to undertake the CVR exercise over a period of at least 1 year. Just like the expansion of voter access to polling units, the Commission appeals to the media for support so that this novel idea will also be successful. The CVR, that's the continuous voter registration, will be a major issue for discussion at this meeting.
Well, so let's tell you that the youths of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, today gathered in Abuja and began to strategize ahead of 2023 general elections. The youths are seeking inclusion and larger or mainstream participation in Nigeria's politics. They said they do not want to take the backbench any longer. The event had the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, some governors who took part virtually, and also some leaders of the APC. I'm now being joined on the program by the leader of the APC Youth and the convener of the First Progressives Youth Conference, Ismail Ahmed. He joins us from the venue of that event. Thank you so much, Ismail, for joining us tonight. And let's begin the conversation. I know how difficult it is to get out of that event, as I understand that it's still going on right now. But one of the things that, listening to some of the speakers there, is that youth of your party are asking for a mainstream positioning in your party ahead of 2023. But realistically speaking, from what you heard today, because Mr. Festus Keyamo was one of those who said, look, the youth need to position themselves, while other people disagree that they need to take part. Well, you do not wait to be given power. They say you have to take it yourself. Do you think that your party is ready to give a youth a chance in 2023 as a president?
Thank you very much for having me, Sheun. This is thank you so much for and thanks to Channels TV for covering most of what happened today. And I know you would agree with me that it's historic in so many ways, not because it's just a conference of bringing young people together, but it's actually a conference built on an idea. There's a reason why we don't call it APC Youth Conference. There's a reason why we called it the Progressive Youth Conference, because even people who are not yet members of the party, but who are progressive in thinking and attitude, we're looking forward for them to be part of this movement, because the progressive is a movement. The president made wonderful speech he made through the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The vice president during the afternoon session, fantastic speech. All our speakers, all our ministers that were there, if you could see the breakdown of what Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola did. The Minister of Finance just finished speaking. The Senate President is speaking as we speak. These are all people, and there are a lot of young people who are holding government positions who have come to talk about the progressive idea of moving from point A to point B. And the issue is not about whether the party would give us a chance. The party has already done that. It is up to us to decide whether we want to take it out, because we have certain asks that we put out there. For example, there's nothing wrong with the party saying that it is putting aside all the seats of local government ward councillors to young people who are below the age of 35. Why not? That's 8,812 slots already. If you talk about all the local government council chairmen to be, kept aside for people who are below the age of 40 or 45, that's another 774 slots. So there's no political party in this country that has made such a big political statement like the APC or the progressive movement is trying to do. And that is very important. That is on the part of the political participation and political empowerment. We move on to economy that it is doing right now in terms of how, empowering people economically. But we wanted that horizon to be expanded. That was why we invited specifically the Minister of Finance, who has been doing incredibly well, the Minister of Trade, the Minister of Works and Housing, the Vice President, the Minister of Interior, the Minister of Transport in the morning, just so that we can all have these ideas of how to empower young people politically, how to empower them economically, and how to empower them socially. And we have Governor Erifai talk about, the politics of exclusion. So it was a wholesome conference that talked about the possibilities of the progressive movement, what we intend to achieve going forward, what the ideology and the ethos and the values.
We seem to have lost connection with Ismail. The apologies there. But as we try to reconnect with him, let's take you through some of your political roundup stories.
The Judo KK faction of the All Progressive Grand Alliance is insisting that it's on course to field a candidate for the Anambra State governorship election as against the Victor Oye faction recognized by INEC. The National Publicity Secretary of the Okeke faction, Mr. Ikechukwu Chukwunyere, explains that the faction has submitted all the relevant documents to ensure the emergence of a candidate for the November 6th election. He adds that the faction is set to hold the governorship primaries on July the 1st, 2021.
The National Executive Committee of our party has demonstrated this commitment by resolving that there will be only one governorship primary election in Anambra State, and it has been scheduled to take place on the first day of July 2021.
What happened yesterday, to me, I'm not moved 1 inch, because they didn't have any constitutionality, no legality, no legitimacy.
More crisis rages. This time, it's in the leadership of the Labour Party, which could affect the participation of the party in the November 6th Anambra State governorship election. A faction of the party, led by Mrs. Maria Lebeke, is asking governorship aspirants who want to contest on the platform of the Labour Party to desist from obtaining the party's nomination and expression of interest forms until the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress resolve the party's leadership crisis with INEC.
Nomination forms of Labour Party in Anambra State are not for sale until Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and Trade Union Congress, TUC, who are the owners of Labour Party, conclude discussions with Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
Well done.
Thank you.
And following the relative peace enjoyed in Imo State in the last few weeks, signaling a seeming end to the security challenges experienced in the state in recent times, some stakeholders under the aegis of Imo Economic Development Initiative is appealing to residents and indigents to support the state government and security agencies in their efforts to sustain peace and stability in the state.
We now need to start to look at how we create more jobs, economic empowerment for young people, so they too can have their lives and they can be less vulnerable.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaira Bata, the chairman of this occasion.
The former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Kingsley Moghalu, and the Senator representing Abia North, Eyinaya Abaribe, have both called for an equitable, just and fair Nigeria where everyone is allowed equal rights and opportunity to thrive or seek for any elected position in Nigeria. Both men were speaking during an inauguration of a social-cultural Igbo group aimed at galvanizing the Igbo extraction to pursue issues of regional interest.
The Igbo must continue to resist any hegemonic worldviews in Nigerian politics and assert their own political relevance.
And no amount of threat will cow us as Igbo from consistently demanding for an equitable, a fair, and a just society for all Nigerians.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on the program. So tonight, the youth of the ruling APC are asking that they need to play a major role going forward in their own party. And they're asking, as part of their demand today, that they want a youth president in 2023. The president, on one hand, is saying that he will likely go with them on their demands and whatever they agree on today. Don't forget, President Buhari is spending a second time in office. But Professor Yemi Oshibajo, the vice president, he spoke today and he says, look, politics is about ideas. You cannot stay on the outside and want whatever you want. You have to be part and parcel of it. Senator Rochas Okorocha was also one of those who spoke today, and he was telling the youth there that their future is in their hands. Tonight we've been speaking with the convener of the Progressives Youth Conference, that is the APC youth, who are meeting today in Abuja, and they're demanding that they need more participation. But when we come back from the break, the conversation continues. What will happen in 2023? Can we see a youth president outside of the APC or within the APC? Don't go anywhere. The conversation continues. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Politics Studio Channels Television. So the youth in the APC, the ruling party, I think they've been in power for 6 years now. And so the youth of our party are saying they want an inclusion. They want a mainstream participation in the affairs of their party, and part of their demands or the conversation they threw up today was that could there be a youth president in 2023? But who is a youth anyways? What age bracket? Is the Nigerian people or are the Nigerian people going to allow the APC to continue? Will that youth conversation also get outside of the APC? So let's continue with the conversation. The convener of that conference earlier on was speaking with us, Ismail Ahmed, before we lost the connection with him. But we have now been joined by in our Abuja studio by a member of the APC. Well, I don't know if Dominic is a youth also, but Dominic Alanche joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Dominic. Dominic, are you a youth by the definition? I mean, some people say between 18 and 35 is a youth bracket. But give us a sense of the demands of some of your friends in your party. Is it possible? Because I was asking Ismail before we had a loss of connection with him, that do you think your party still has the popularity that brought it into power in 2015? is the Nigerian people, you see, acceptable as a political party to Nigerian before you even start talking about a youth president?
Well, thank you so very much for having me, Sheung. You will agree with me that the emergence of APC is as a result of the contribution of young people in 2015 general election after the formation of the APC in 2013. The APC in 2013, put up its manifesto and constitution and made it a youth-friendly. I was part of that process, and we mobilized young people, to join the party. And in 2015, we gave an overwhelming support to the party, and the party emerged as the ruling party, defeating a ruling party, and we emerged victoriously in that election in 2015. Same was repeated in 2019. The truth of the matter is that at this particular time, we've come out to mobilize ourselves, to conscientize ourselves, because our interest is about a better Nigeria for us, a better Nigeria for our children, a better Nigeria for anybody around the world, around Africa, that is interested in coming to do business in Nigeria. So we are meeting today, in the Progressive Youth Conference, the first of its kind. And let me also, first of all, again, appreciate our leader, the national youth leader of our great party, Barrister Ismail Ahmed, for a well thought out a program that he has put up today. This has afforded us the opportunity of communicating some of the solutions, we believe that government should adopt as their policy. Some of the things that we believe that the party, should adopt as their policy in order to, include more youth in terms of party administration, in terms of governance in the country, and stuffs like that. So today, as progressive, and that is what made us really different with other youth in the country or in other political parties. We agree that there are challenges, we agree that there are issues, but we cannot continue to do, things the same way we used to do. There has to be a change, and that is what necessitates this particular conference, so that, at the end of this conference, we are coming out with a communique that will be, that communique will be communicated to the Senate President, the Vice President, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and, relevant people, the party leadership, on some of the resolutions, some of the things we are agreeing with ourselves today.
Dominic, if you look at what is happening, when your party took power in 2015, unemployment rate was 8.19%. Presently, it's in double digits. It's 33.28%. Now, the question is, it does look to me, listening to those who have spoken, especially the youth, the realization that maybe your party does not have the kind of acceptance it had in 2015. And there are fears that if you go in the same manner, in the same scheme that you have right now, that some people will argue that it's a lower scheme, and it might not be able to fetch you anything you want in 2003. And that is the realization that led you to this conference. Is that a true position of things, that the youth that you mobilized in 2015 perhaps are no longer with you?
That is not true. The youth that we mobilized in 2015 are still with us. And let me tell you that more are still coming, more have joined us, and more are still going to join us. By this time in 2013, by this time, 6 years ago, about 5 governors, then we were still in the opposition, 5 governors of the ruling party joined the APC. And, that is of a ruling of the ruling party then, and we were in opposition then. Now, 6 years after, governors and more governors are coming. The governors of Cross River have joined the party. He has nothing to lose because this is his last this thing. There are more people in this party now. If you look at our revalidation exercise, over our party now, our numerical strength now is over 20 million is over 20 million, because in 2015, we are not more than 10, 15 million, 12 million people. So for you to say that we don't have that kind of acceptance, that we had in 2015 is not true. And then talking about employment, the rate of unemployment now, you see, if you look at it from the angle of government engaging, employing people, as per, maybe ministry employment, agency employment, you will get it wrong. But when you look at it from the angle of also entrepreneurship development, when you look at it from the angle of youth empowerment, you will agree with me that this government have done very well in empowering young people. Today, agriculture is one area that young people have mobilized themselves, have delved into, and they are doing quite very well in poultry farming, in cassava farming, and a whole lot of things that is putting food on the table of young people. It's not only until you are employed as a government employee before you are an employer.
Dominic,
there are
when
more
you say
employers
that
of labor now, actually.
But I mean, I agree with you. I don't doubt you in any ways. We see some of these things on TV. I don't doubt you in any way. But the NBS figures is saying otherwise to some of the things that you are saying, considering the figures that are released. If 33% of Nigerians are unemployed compared to what we had the last time, that is not in double digits, it speaks volume, isn't it? And so the question is, if your party go to the polls today, do you think that you can win the heart of Nigeria for the presidency?
So if election is conducted today, Nigerians will vote massively for the APC. Nigerians' youth will support the APC because the APC in its 6 years have done better than any party that have ruled this country for 16 years or so. So the party is doing very well, and that is what we are saying. But you see, Shehu, we cannot deny the fact that there are challenges, and that is one of the things that necessitated this particular conference. We have come to say, if there are challenges, like security, we are having challenges, and these securities are global challenges. They are emerging challenges, but the government is doing something about it. But we are saying, we are discussing, and part of the communique that will be issued to some of our leaders is to do things differently, you understand, in order to engender, progressive governance in this country, so that whosoever that is coming, again, will not have it difficult to advance, to build on the foundation that the president has already laid.
We need to go now, but please kindly answer this in 30 seconds, if you may. Is it true? Can it happen that President Buhari or your party will allow a youth as your candidate? And have you, the youth of the party, decided where you think the power should be zoned to in 2023? Just in 30 seconds.
Well, Shehu, the conversation going on now is tilting towards southwest in terms of zoning the presidency. Yes, it is possible for a youth to emerge in 2023 as a president. But you see, I will support, youths that result, that is result-oriented. Let your results speak. Okorocha was speaking to us today, and one of the things that distinguished Senator Okorocha said is to package ourselves. We need to repackage ourselves so that our leaders, the elderly ones, will begin to have confidence in us. It's not as if we do not have the capacity. We have the capacity to win election because the youth constitute the voting population of this country. And if we can speak to ourselves, we can mobilize ourselves, conscientize ourselves, it is doable. So 2023, a youth president is possible, but we need to mobilize ourselves, and that is what we have initiated today.
Thank you so much, Dominic Alancha. Well, I hope that the youth that you're talking about are going to be in the understandable bracket that some of us know, 18 to maybe 40 or 35 or 45. Not sometimes when you find youth leaders that are in their 60s. On the lighter note, anyways. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And that's our show. I'm sure Kimale. Bye-bye.